Okay, so I always get questions whenever I meet someone or someone sees something I post on Instagram about my tattoos. So I asked if a tattoo tour would be interesting, and apparently it would. Also, let me know if you want me to film this makeup look. I tried to do like that thing. I saw it on TikTok. People were like trying to look like Bella Hadid. So they're like trying to make her little eye lift moment. So I tried it and I think it's kind of cute. So let me know if you want to see that. But let me tell you about my tattoos today. So I have a lot of them, but I'm also an advocate for waiting. So just a PSA to any young people that are watching this and are thinking about, oh my god, I want a tattoo, and you're like 16 and like you think you really want something, and then you probably won't when you're 20 or older than that. So I got my first tattoo when I was 16. I live in New York, but I drove to Pennsylvania. My dad took me, and he let me get my first tattoo with parent permission, because you can do that in Pennsylvania. And I'll show it. It's this one on the back of my neck. It's a Unalome symbol. And I, at the time, was really obsessed with this girl named Hannah Snowden. If you know, she's like a tattoo artist, but I don't know if she's tattooing anymore. And she was married to Oliver Sykes of Bring Me the Horizon. So I was really obsessed with that whole thing, and I was really emo. So I really liked that she tattooed Unalomes all the time. It's supposed to mean like the path to enlightenment or something. Way too over the top for a 16-year-old. I didn't give a fuck. I just wanted to look like this girl, and I wanted to like what she liked, so I did it. So that's pretty much the only explanation that I have for that tattoo. Yeah, so my second ever tattoo was my entire hip. So that was a big decision that I didn't think about. It was my 17th birthday. I went back to Pennsylvania, same tattoo shop, different artist, and I tattooed my entire hip. So I'm gonna get up and show you. Like, it's also on my Instagram. I'm not gonna take my pants off, but I'm just gonna show you. So it's like from my stomach, and it goes down to part of my thigh. So yeah, I am very thankful that I got a decent artist to do that, because I didn't really care, to be honest. I just wanted a tattoo. I didn't really care who did it, and I'm glad that I got lucky enough to have a decent tattoo. Nothing's too bad about it. I do really want to get it touched up, because it is like 5 years old, about to be 5 years old, so it's needs a couple touch-ups, but I love it. Personally, I'm a very tiny person, and I always struggled with feeling like hot or sexy, or I never really did, because I'm just so tiny, and no one really thought of me like that. So when I got that tattoo, it was kind of like a awakening of this like annoying person that wants to be in a bathing suit all the time, and that's who I am today. So it really like took confidence out of me that I didn't know that I had, and I don't think people think about that when it comes to tattoos, because a lot of people just see it as like a reckless decision or something you're gonna regret or something so stupid, but they don't realize that sometimes it is a foundation of someone's confidence. It's what inspires them, it's what makes them feel beautiful. So it put confidence in me that I never had my entire life. I was the most insecure person in the entire world, and I struggled with that for most of my life. And so finally getting tattoos, I didn't really, as soon as I started, I just knew that it was something that I needed to do, and that helped me feel like my best self. So I kept getting them. So that was my second tattoo, under 18. And then I think I was still 17, and I made my dad take me back to Pennsylvania. So we would drive to Erie, Pennsylvania, which was like 2.5, 3 hours. Nothing too bad. Get some Krispy Kreme, go back home. So he was down for the road trip. So my third and fourth tattoo, it's can't really see it. It says "until the very end" right here. It is a Harry Potter quote, and you know, Harry Potter for life. And then my dad came with me and we both ended up getting this North Star. Just kind of something for me and my dad to always have. He's kind of like my favorite human in the entire world, so we always have that together, and he's my North Star, you know? My card gets declined at Wegmans, I call him my North Star. You know? Stuff like that. So yeah, that was my third and fourth tattoo, and I kind of had a panic attack because I didn't think about the fact that your arm kind of turns when you tattoo this spot. So when my arm is to the side, this tattoo goes sideways, but then of course when I'm like this, it's perfectly straight. So I didn't really think about that. We're on the way home and I'm just like I like freaked out because when you turn your arm you can see it on the top of my forearm. So whatever. And let me think what was next. And then I didn't get any more till I was 18, I believe. And then I got, oh no, I got another one when I was 17. Okay, the summer before I turned 17, I got this rose on my sternum with my friends, and my mom came for this one, and it's just a like outline of a rose, nothing crazy. One of my most painful ones, I will say. If you're a big like little bitch about tattoos, then I wouldn't recommend a sternum tattoo. Just because of where it is, you can't move. You're kind of scared to like breathe too heavy, and sometimes I have like a thing when I get tattooed. I have to like breathe, and so I didn't like that. I felt stuck and trapped and anxiety ridden, so I did not like this location whatsoever. I will never add anything to it. This would probably be the one tattoo that I could live without. It's not my favorite anymore. I was 17, I thought it was the coolest fucking thing ever. I thought it was so hot. Now I'm kind of over it, but I don't know, it's alright. I'm not really worried about it. And then what did I do? Oh, then I turned 18. So then I started my forearm. So this, I am going to shout out the artist who did this because she's so talented. I went to Bree Nichols at Pyramid Arts Tattoo in Rochester. She is unreal, like the shit she does. So you can kind of see. I'm gonna add in like pictures and stuff like that so you can actually see. But I started with this, just that, and that was my beginning of my forearm. I was 18 and working at PacSun, so I didn't really have a lot of money to just do a full sleeve right there. I was in beauty school, I was a little broke ass bitch, so there was no way I was doing this in like a big chunk. So this one, I think it was just like a quick like hour tattoo, and then I ended up getting this. I need to like sit up for this. I ended up getting this dress form. I just love this one's for kind of like all the vintage things that I really love. Vintage movies, vintage ladies, vintage clothes, vintage bags, vintage everything has always kind of been something that I was obsessed with, so I wanted to get that just because it kind of represented that. And a lot of people say it's like their favorite tattoo that I have, and I agree. I just think it's stunning. But of course there are really tiny lines, and I've had this tattoo for about 4 years now, so it's pretty much, my skin is pretty much just like made it one big blob, which is something that happens with tattoos, which I'm going to talk about. So that happened, and then I decided to get up here filled just with like the same type of pattern and design down here. It's kind of like a paisley moment. I don't really know what to call it. Again, you have to keep in mind that your arm does have a curvature to it, so this will not stand straight unless of course you like stop it like right here. So I did this part, and then I ended up adding later on these little filler flowers just because I wanted to kind of make it more just full. I just didn't like that there was random spaces around it, so we ended up adding flowers in there, and she completely freehanded all of the vines on all of the flowers with a pen onto my arm, and I was literally shook by it. I was like, how are you so talented that you just draw something with a pen and then tattoo it? Like, I just was amazed because I'm so jealous of that art form, and I wish to the heavens that I could be a tattoo artist, but I can't draw for shit. Let's be real. Can't fucking draw. So that was the beginning of my arm, and then I ended up getting this butterfly. So this one's for my mommy. She I think she was somewhere, and some like Native American person was like, "Oh, you're a butterfly. Your like spirit animal is a butterfly," and so she stuck with that her entire life, and she's obsessed with butterflies, and that's where I get that from. If you look on my Instagram, I'm kind of obsessed with butterflies, and it's because I love my mommy. And so I got this giant butterfly under my elbow, and this is probably my favorite tattoo of all time. Also done by Bree at Pyramid Arts, and absolutely obsessed with it. It looks just as beautiful as it did the day I got it. It healed perfectly, and it's just literally stunning. If I could have one tattoo and no others, it would be this one. I just love the placement. I love how it looks on my arm. Everything about it I'm just absolutely obsessed with. And then I kind of went through a phase of freaking out because I was only 18. I didn't even turn 19 yet, and I had so many tattoos, and this happens and it's okay. I was just really paranoid of the fact that like I would get comments all the time. I was kind of used to the comments, like you get like family members or like old people in public kind of being like, "Oh, just wait till you're 40, just wait till you're 50," or something like that. And so kind of got in my head a little bit. I was not as confident as I am now, so I kind of didn't have that foundation of like, I don't give a fuck, this is what I like. I didn't really have that yet, so I just kind of freaked out a little bit, and I was like, oh my god, I have these all over my body forever. So I stopped getting tattooed for like a year. I just completely stopped. So when I was 19, I don't think I got any. I could be wrong. No, I don't think I got any. Took a really long break, and I think that was good for me because, one, I didn't have any money, so I wasn't really doing anything. And then I also, like, if you're kind of freaking out about it, you shouldn't rush to do anything else because you might make a wrong decision and then you're stuck with it. So I took a break, and much needed. Probably everyone in my life was happy about that. And then when I was 20, I got, this was last summer, so I got this red flower. I randomly just was like, I want color now, because I only have black tattoos and black and gray, and then I was like, you know what, let's keep with the black and gray leaves, but let's add a little bit of color in it. So it's red obviously, and then it has a little yellow inside circle thingy, and I love it, like absolutely fucking love it. I love how it turns on my arm. I love how it filled up this space that I wanted filled up forever. Absolutely love it. Another one of my favorites. And then me and my sister got matching ones. So me and Claire both got a heart outline on our hip. I'll show that. Just like an outline. So cute. Me and my sissy have it. And then we both got angel wings. So this was for my pop, who passed away a little over a year ago. And he would have hated that I got a tattoo, but I kind of like having it, just kind of like a reminder. And I by no means think that tattoos need to have meanings. Majority of mine have zero meaning whatsoever, but sometimes I do like to have a little something where I just look down at it and I'm like, oh, you know? So that's kind of where I'm at with tattoos. I don't think they need to mean anything, and I think they're just fun. So we got those together, which was so funny. If Claire lets me, I'm gonna insert a clip of her getting tattooed for the first time and me just like knowing, because she didn't get the wings here, she got them on her ribs, which is, as a lot of people know, one of the most painful spots because it's just straight bone. So she was kind of dying, and it was funny to watch because I wasn't the only one getting tattooed. Usually I'm the only one that I have like people with me and they're just laughing at me in pain. So it was nice to see someone else, because no one else really gets them. So that was that. And then I got this, oh my god, I got this fan tattoo. It has, a lot of it's black. Again, I wanted to stay with a lot of, since most of my arm is black and gray, I wanted to keep some of that in up here. Even if I did add some color, I still want to keep black and gray because I just want it to flow, and it's really hard, I would say, with tattoos, like when you want to do a sleeve and you have so many ideas, like trying to think of everything to make it like flow and like go together is like an absolute struggle. That's why it should take you years, not 2 months. So the fan tattoo has little yellow flowers in it, and I did end up scarring with this tattoo, so that's not something that a lot of people think about, I feel like. So it was healing, and part of it, kind of when it was healing, it kind of got like ripped off. It was kind of gross, but and it created this scar right here. So this is all supposed to be black, and it kind of looks white gray right here because my skin's scarred. So I am gonna get that touched up, and it'll just put black over it and it'll be fine. But for the time being, got a little bit of a scar right there. No big deal. I don't really care. I don't notice it, except in some pictures I'll be like, I know no one else does, so they would have no idea. So I try to ignore that. And then for my latest tattoo, I got these cherry blossoms on the back of my arm, green leaves, pink, and then it has like an orangey yellow inside. So this is definitely my most colorful one, but it's bringing up for my full sleeve. For the longest time I thought I only wanted a half of one. Then when I started going up, I was like, yes. So this is my latest tattoo. I haven't got anything since this I got this in February. And yeah, I'm obsessed with it. It's probably my favorite. It makes me love wearing pink because I used to never, and now when I see it like going with my tattoo, I love it for some reason. So obsessed with that. And yeah, I'm probably gonna take this up here and keep going with the cherry blossoms, or I'm gonna put another, I think I'm gonna keep going with the cherry blossoms and then maybe put another butterfly up here because I just love them, and I kind of want a blue one, kind of add another color in there. So I'm gonna have basically like red, pinks, yellows through my tattoos, maybe warm colors, and maybe add a blue butterfly. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got going on right now, and I just kind of wanted to show them and kind of talk about getting them and talk about my experiences, because I just really, I don't want to say I made mistakes, but I could have made mistakes because of how reckless I was with them. I kind of use tattoos as like a, like when you have like a mental breakdown and like you cut your hair off. I also do that, but I get tattoos also. So it's kind of like a coping mechanism, I would say. So fucked up. And so you have to be careful with that, obviously. But like I've been in situations where everyone's like, oh my god, we should go get a tattoo, and I'll be like, tattoo my face, I don't give a fuck. So I'm just kind of, I would say, on the reckless side, but I've calmed down a lot, and I've started to make way better decisions and started going to a bunch of different artists and like trying to like find the correct one and try to just take my time, I guess, and invest where I should. I should probably count up how much this all was. Definitely over, probably close to like 2,000, close to there maybe, but obviously chunked up throughout years. Maybe 1,500. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I'll count it up and put the number right here. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, let me know. And just want to say it again, PSA, if you're 16, 17, maybe take a chill, take a breather, and be like, I'll wait a couple more years and then make sure I really want this. Because when I was that age, I was like, duh, I'm gonna want it. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I know exactly what I want because I'm 16 and I know everything. So that's what I said. And my dad believed me. And thank God it was like a small back of the neck tattoo and it wasn't anything crazy when I was 16. So yeah, I forget that one's even back there. I just don't even recall. So I'll say my favorite tattoo and my least favorite tattoo, just to talk a little bit more about this. So my favorite tattoo, probably my butterfly, like I said, just for my mommy. And then my least favorite is probably this one. I did get it done by an apprentice that just became like an artist at the shop. So he just finished like learning and following a older tattoo artist and stuff like that. So again, I didn't really care. I just wanted someone to fucking tattoo me. So he was fine. Like there was nothing wrong with him, but you could tell he just wasn't as experienced. And in my head, I had these little warning bells. I was like, maybe he's not as experienced. And then I didn't care, and I just let him tattoo my titties. So no one else would notice this, but I think it's closer to my left boob than my right boob. Like it's not perfectly in the center. And when I wear, like I'm not trying to be sexy and I just wear like a normal top with like a normal v-neck, and if I wear a bra or something, it like squishes up with cleavage, and I just don't like how it looks. So I would say that's my least favorite one. I would get it removed, but I would never pay the money to get it removed because I would just rather get another tattoo with that amount of money. And it's not big, it's not obnoxious, it's not ugly, it's not messed up. So I'm just gonna leave it there, and probably after I have kids and I have like saggy ass boobs, it'll be like nasty, but whatever. Yeah, that's my thing, kind of. If you're really into tattoos and you think it'll really boost your confidence, and I really think you should do it because it's worth it. Do you get a lot of comments? Yes, I get them constantly, from old people, from people that just don't like them. I kind of have like this fear of like guys not liking them, thinking it looks like, I don't know, just not really liking how it looks. I would say like old dads have a lot to say. Like they kind of think you're like sexy or something, so they just are like, what's their favorite word for them? Oh, sick ink. You're just like, thanks dude, and you just kind of gotta like go with it. But I would say you do get different reactions, and you do have people treating you a little differently when you do see them versus not seeing them, which isn't something that when you're 16 you really think about. Thankfully I have worked in retail, which tattoos are never a problem in retail, and unless you work somewhere fancy. And then I work as a babysitter and a nanny, so the girl that I work for, thankfully, is like my best friend, and she thinks I'm cool, and she has tattoos, and so we're totally fine. But I can see how that would obviously be, some people would judge me and some people wouldn't like it, and I do think it's a different world in 2020, but I also think that people still judge the shit out of you. My favorite one is oh, that's pretty, I'd kill my daughter, and I'm like, thanks, thank you so much. So yeah, so that's my tattoo tour. That's what I have to say about tattoos. And yep, I'm obsessed. I love them. Cash App at Brinn Regan if you want to pay for my other arm. Thanks.